everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue. In today's video, I'm taking you through a 1-hour Pilates class, which I recently recorded when I did this class through Zoom with my students. So I hope you enjoy it. Do be sure to give me one of these following the class, or even right now, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content and you can check it out and check me out in the next video. Namaste. And your feet are flat on the floor as you get started. So let's open up through the chest and really ground through the soles of those feet. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back. Take a breath to grow a little bit taller. And then as you exhale, gently tuck the chin and begin to roll down, keeping those shoulders down as you do. You can hold on to your legs here as we warm things up, and then we're just going to pull and make our way back up again. So breathing it tall, breathe out, rounding as you scoop the belly in, tucking the chin, looking forward, and then rolling back up again to sit nice and tall. Breathe in and breathe out. And then coming all the way back up again. We're just going to bring the feet in. You can wrap the arms around the legs. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. Just stretch the spine. And then slowly unroll, sit tall again. Take the hands behind you. Open up the fingers nice and wide. With the fingertips pointed toward the top of your mat. Separate the feet just a little bit. And then lift up into a reverse table. Opening through the chest. Lifting the hips, and take a breath in here. As you exhale, slowly lower your bottom toward the mat and lifting it right back up again to come back to that same position. So breathe in when you're at the top, breathe out as you release and lift, making sure that your powerhouse is on as you lift. We want to activate the glutes here, the chain through the posterior and lower it all the way down once again. Sitting nice and tall. You can bring the feet in a little closer, wrap the arms around the legs, or stretch out the spine as you round, and then sit tall once again. Bringing the feet maybe a little bit further forward as you maintain that bend in the knees. Take a breath in to reach up. And as you exhale, reaching the arms forward, keep the chest proud, keep that belly button pulled in toward the spine as you lower down a little bit lower and pausing here, hold it here. We'll add some little tiny pulses. Keep looking forward for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it all the way down. Stretch the arms nice and long here. Reach the feet away from you as well. And as you bring those legs into a tabletop position, take a breath to open up the chest. Exhale. Reach for the backs of the legs to really focus on picking up the shoulder blades off the floor as you look forward still. Now, as you maintain that position, we'll bring the arms alongside the hips. And from here, you can keep the legs in tabletops or stretch them long, your choice. But as we begin, we turn the palms upward as we inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 50. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 60. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 80. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Inhale, 2, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100, and bring that in. Take the hands to your kneecaps and massage the back a little bit as we start to really feel that heat building in the body. making sure that as we come back to tabletop, our spine is neutral here, the pelvis is neutral as well. So from here, bring the fingertips by the ears, keep your elbows open wide, lifting up the head, the shoulders, and coming onto the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, rolling back down again. Breathe in at the bottom, breathe out to lift and squeeze, and then release, come back down again. So continuing that up and down motion, breathing in, breathing out to use the exhale as an energizer. So you want to have that power, exerted energy as you lift up. And let's do one more and hold it up here. Hold it, looking forward, a little pulse, squeezing a little higher up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it down and give yourself a little easy break here. Not too long though, as we bring the legs right back to tabletop. So from here, bring those fingertips by the ears again. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, reach your left rib cage toward your right thigh, extending if you wish, the left leg, straightening the right one, and bring it back to your starting position. Breathe in and breathe out. Switch and reach, bend, bring it back. And switch, reach, and keep going. So you can always make this an easier variation by keeping the feet maybe in supine neutral with the feet on the floor, or just keeping them in tabletop and not adding the extended legs. Let's finish up with one more to each side. And bring it down. Bring the feet to the floor. Bring the hands by your hips, lifting up into bridge. Squeeze those glutes once again and roll it from the top down to your mat. Breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, squeeze and lift. And keep that going. Make sure that your legs don't splay out when you come into your bridge. You want to keep those knees staying lined up with the hips. So you almost want to feel like your inner thighs are kind of rolling inward a little bit, because you're activating those midlines of the legs as well as the glutes and even your gluteus medius here. Let's activate that a little bit more by walking the feet together, butterfly your knees, and lift the hips up as you lower back down again. Inhale as you come down, and you're exhaling on the way up and down. Really curling through the spine as you do this. And as we come down this time, we're going to hold that butterfly, and you're going to bring the hands together, reaching right through as you lift up the shoulder blades. Reach and lower, bring the arms up. Breathe in, make sure the ribs don't pop up, and reach forward and lower down again. Let those knees open up, keeping the soles of those feet glued together. One more from here. We're going to hold as we lift up here. Hold it. Let's add those pulses again. So pay attention to the neck position and reach forward for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back down again. Bring the hands alongside the hips. Walk those feet until the knees are over ankles. Open the shoulder or the chest as you walk your shoulder blades toward each other. Lift it up into a bridge once again. Squeeze those glutes. Make sure that you press firmly through the heels as well as the balls of your feet. Your toes stay pointed straight ahead. Again, you want to feel that activation of the midlines of the legs. Powerhouse is on. Press firmly through that left foot as you pick up the right knee in tabletop. Breathe in and then breathe out to reach it forward. Bring it back with control. So we're going fairly slow here, which gives you some time to actually fire up some resistance. So feel as if you are pushing a door open with that leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring it back, step it in and switch. Reach and in. Reach, bring it back. So you probably will notice the difference from one leg to the other in keeping your body supported and lifted that way. I know for me, as I switch to the right side, it's a little bit easier to stay lifted and supported. So this is really, really good for gradually building up that balance between the two sides. Breathe in and out. Keep that jaw softened and relaxed, and bring it back in. Pause, step it down. Keep those hips level as you curl the spine back down once again, hugging those legs back in, and rock side to side to massage your back a little bit, getting right across the back. Take the time here in this little pause to kind of work out any kinks or any tightness that might kind of start to creep in on you. So as we bring the legs up to 90 degrees, we are going to bring both hands alongside the hips and lower the right leg down toward the floor and bring it up. Do the same thing with the left leg and bring it up. So as you alternate side to side, this gives you good opportunity to make sure that you are firming up the leg. So you are working on that control. You're resisting the up and down movement. But the lower you bring your leg, the more you fire up your oblique, or not the obliques, but rather your powerhouse. So from here, let's bring the legs up. Pause, inhale, and as you exhale, lower it down and bring it back up again. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. And keep that moving up and down. Again, if you find that your back is feeling like it's going to peel off the floor, then make your movement a little bit smaller. Don't go down quite so low. Now the next time that we bring the legs up, we're bringing the arms up. So from here, we are going to come back to alternating, but we're bringing right leg down, left arm down, and switch to the other side. So keeping that spine nice and neutral the whole time, and feeling that little bit of burn in the belly perhaps by now. So it's good to take it back to one leg at a time, making sure again your ribs don't pop up when you're doing this with the arm. And bring it, pause here. You can keep going with alternates, or you can do both arms, both legs. Reach. Reach long and kind of play around with what your edge is to really challenge the body. And this time, hold it down, lifting the head up if you can, look toward the toes, hold it, make sure your back does not arch, you want to stay neutral, hold it, breathe, and bring it back in again. And give yourself that little bit of a break once more. Now continuing to keep that burn in the belly, we're going to reach the legs long again. You're going to lower the legs to a place where you can stay neutral And you can cup the back of your head, so right at the nape of the neck or the base of your skull, lifting and lower the legs to where you can keep your spine neutral. And we're going to add little flutter kicks here. So flutter the legs up and down, nice and quick, little tiny moves. Keep looking forward, keep that head supported so you're not pulling on it, but you want to make sure that you're not feeling strain in the neck. Keep going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it in. Let's flip that over to bring it back to that posterior chain. So as you align yourself in your bridge once again, we're going to load up the left leg first as we pick up the right leg. Now make sure your hip bones are staying level. Reach through your tippy toes as you draw circles on the ceiling. So try to keep your whole body still here. Use the arms if you need for extra support to really keep that body firm. Circle in the opposite direction as you keep that movement small, tiny, and tight. Keep breathing as you circle it around. Pause, bend, and step it down. Now, if you can, keep the hips lifted and come right up into the other side, reaching up through those tippy toes, hips level. Breathe in and circle it in. Tiny circles. Keep pressing firmly. Go the other way. Keep it moving. Make sure that right leg is staying as stable as possible. Body nice and strong, nice and stable. Keep circling around tight little circles. Bring it center, bend, step it in, and lower it down. Take a big long stretch with both arms once again. And breathe in. As you bend your right leg, let's roll over onto the left side. So from here, you're cradling the head with your bottom arm, or reach for that blanket if you have it, so that you do have some support for your neck. Make sure your body is nicely aligned, and we're going to focus on the inner thigh as we step the top foot over, the top leg over, bracing yourself here. So pay attention to that the top shoulder, the right one. So you want to kind of feel like you're opening up your chest and rolling that shoulder back so that you can maintain open airways. So flex your bottom ankle, reach through the heel, lift and lower the leg. So you're lifting and lowering, really resisting this movement as you keep that flow with your breath, moving that leg up and down. And as you hold it lifted, hold it, reach through your heel, keep the chest proud and open. Let's pulse it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toes, circle forward and back as you reach through the tippy toes. Now again, try to keep your body still. So we want to isolate at the leg, right at that hip joint. We're moving through those nice rounded movements and go the other way. So keep reaching, drawing the femur right out of the hip joint. So you want to have an easy gliding motion as you keep going. A few more times around. 2, 1, and relax. From here, let's stretch out the top leg as well. We're going to stack both of the legs as we make our way up onto the bottom forearm. So fingertips are pointed straight ahead, stacking the legs. Now, if you want, you could bend your bottom leg so that you're going to be pressing up from your knee, but we're coming up into a side plank here as you reach up with your right arm, and as we hold, lift the hips up a little bit higher, we're going to pulse the hips up and down. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, and bring it down. Staying on that left side, bend the bottom knee if it isn't already. We're coming up onto the left hand and the left knee. So you want to make sure that you keep your bottom hand nice and wide open. You can reach the top arm up and across the ear. From here, we're going to reach through the top leg and lift and lower, lift and lower. So lots of control here in your powerhouse to make sure that you're not kind of thrusting the hips as you lift the leg, but it's all about resisting gravity as you pick up and really work that outer hip and your outer thigh. Now the next time that we lift it up, we're going to stay here, hold it, reach, and then bring the knee toward the elbow. Reach and bend, reach and bend. Breathe in, breathe out. So we'll do another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring that foot down. Come on all the way up onto your left knee. Bringing the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, and from here we're going to lean to the side and bring it back. So really firing up the obliques as we allow the weight of the torso and the weight of the arms to create a longer lever that is loading up those abdominals and the oblique muscles. So keep your shoulders facing forward so that they're facing in the same direction as your hip bones. So you don't want to be twisting your body. Instead, you want your obliques to really be loaded up so that they have to work really hard to lower the body and pick it back up again. Let's do one last one. And bring it all the way up and release. Come onto your knees. Open the chest, and I'll just give you a side profile here. You're going to reach the arms forward, keeping the chest open. Now making sure that you create that tuck of your tailbone. You want to keep your powerhouse nice and firm. And as you breathe in to open up, we're going to breathe out to lower down and move back. And inhale, take it forward. Exhale, lean it back. So you're going to feel your powerhouse working really hard here to stabilize you. You want to keep it stabilized in your lower back, but those quads are going to be working hard. So we've worked the inside, the outsides of the hips, and we're going to keep going with that. And the fronts of those thighs, backs of the thighs. When we were doing those bridges, we were working the glutes and we were working the hamstrings as well. So we want to get around the whole body. So we've got 1 hour and it's packed full to get that body strong. Nothing like using your own resistance, your own body weight to really strengthen the body. And bring it all the way back up. So from here, we are moving on, and we're going to take the left foot out, toes pointed straight ahead. You're on your right knee, reaching the arms up. So you want to be in the opposite position of what we were earlier. And from here, lengthen from your waist and lean over to the side, bringing it back up again. Inhale. So you always want to be breathing in. When you have those little tiny recoveries, as tiny as they might be, they give you an opportunity to reset for a moment so that you can go again. Keep that going. So you're going to really feel with that long lever how it just pulls you over, so that you have to really fire up those core muscles to keep you stable, to keep you well supported through your back as you play around with your edges. Edge of resistance. Last one here. Maybe a little bit lower and bring it all the way back up again. And release. And roll out the shoulders. You're going to take your left or your right hand this time underneath the shoulder, staying on the knee. Reach up and lift the leg up. Bring it, or keep the arm lifted. We're going to lower the legs. So we're just going to hover above the floor when we lower it down and lift it back up again. So we're doing those leg raises. And again, you want to keep your shoulders facing forward, just like your hips. Your toes are pointed straight ahead because your ankle is flexed and it is really loading up that outer hip to develop those muscles while your powerhouse stays on. That's the biggest difference with Pilates, is that training to develop awareness of the powerhouse, because once you have that, you can use it for all of your functional activities that you do just around the house, day in, day out, but you can also use it for other activities. So whether you're lifting weights or you're golfing, whatever you might be doing, you want to have those muscles on to protect your back. Now, as we lift the leg up, bring the arm right by the ear and then bend and squeeze it in toward the elbow. Breathe in as you reach, breathe out as you squeeze. Now, it's not necessary for you to touch knee to elbow. We just want to shorten the space between the bottom ribs and the top of your hip bone. So a few more repetitions here. Let's do another 2. And bring it all the way down. From here, we're coming down onto the forearm, elbow, staying on the bottom knee or sliding that bottom foot under to open up into your side plank. Chest open again, shoulders facing forward, hips facing forward. Let's pulse it for 10, lifting up higher, 9, 8. So you want to keep this pulse really smooth so that it's not a jerky kind of movement. We've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way down. So cradling the head here as well to keep your neck well supported, creating a nice straight line with your body. Reach for that top ankle as you bring the foot in. So from here, once again, we're flexing at the ankle, reaching through the heel, and we're going to lift up and down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So you want to stay squared. Don't roll back, don't roll forward, just keep reaching through. Keep smiling as you relax your facial features. A smile is actually a more relaxed way to be, so that way you're not clenching your jaw, which can cause tension in your neck and your shoulders. So reminding yourself to smile, and that way your mouth is already open so that you can breathe out more easily. Keep the leg lifted, hold it here. Let's add our pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toes, circle forward and around. Keep drawing those circles. Moving it around. And go the other way. Keep going around and around. Really focusing on the execution of that circle, as if you were actually had paint on the tip of your big toe and you could see those rounded circles. Try to make them even and relax and release it. So from here, we come onto our backs once again. Bring the arms nice and long overhead as you take a breath in. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, look to the toes, and rolling your way up to come all the way to seated. Breathe in and breathe out to roll it down, articulating one vertebra at a time, reaching and taking your time to really feel the muscles work. So if you've been doing this for a while and gradually you've become stronger and you can really notice the difference, and take the time to really let yourself celebrate that fact that you have gotten so much stronger and that you might also be so much more aware of your form. Perhaps you no longer feel the need to thrust the body forward in order to execute this rolling up. Or if you maybe you've been away for a little bit and you're back to looking at the toes, lifting up and rolling back down, that's okay too. It's really important to be aware and to notice, because even if that is where you're at again today, you know that over time you do become stronger, the more aware, the more connected you become to that powerhouse. Now, as we bring the arms forward this time, tuck the chin in, and if you are able to lift up, see if you can lift up the right leg, coming into that teaser prep, and then bring it down as you lower the body down. Breathe in, and let's switch to the other leg. Now, you could stay down on the floor and come back to alternate leg lifts, maybe just lifting the head up, looking to those toes, and then lowering back down again. So this combines the effort of keeping the posture in your upper body nice and solid and strong, and also the lower body. So you start to not only isolate, but start to isolate different parts of the body simultaneously. So lots going on to maintain that mindfulness. So last one here of alternating. This time, let's see if we can actually bring both legs up and pause up here. Hold it here for a moment and then roll it back down again. Breathe in, a little breather, and breathe out. Hold it. You can breathe while you're holding and then lower it back down again. So let's do another two. Just like that. Play around with the balance. Play around with the strength that it takes to execute whatever it is you're executing, even if it's one leg at a time, and then bring it all the way down. From here, you can bend the knees and you can wiper blade your legs a little bit here. Give your spine a really nice release. And as we bring the knees into the chest, hold on to the ankles or to the backs of the legs. From here, we are going to be rolling like a ball to eventually make our way up to seated. So we're looking at doing this about 5 times, holding your balance. On the 5th one more. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Tuck in, nice and tight, and release it. So from here, let's come onto the hands and knees. We're going to walk the hands toward the top of the mat and tucking the toes under. We're moving up into an inverted V or downward facing dog. Just to stretch out, you can bend one leg, straighten the other one, and then switch it over to the other side so that you just give the hips a little bit of a shift side to side. And then as you move forward into a plank, you can make it a half plank from your knees, or you could do it from your toes. Now, really important to make sure your hips don't pop up here. What we're going to do is add some movement to this. So you're going to step your right foot in, but keeping the hips low. So your knee is hovering above the floor unless you're in table, and then the left one hovers above the floor. So maintaining low hips. Step out with the right foot, bring it back in. Step out with the left foot, bring it in. Step back, back, and take it back to your inverted V for a little recovery. So moving forward again in that plank. So adjust your hips, don't drop them, don't pop them. Step in, step in, step out, in, in, step back, back, and take it back to your downward dog. Move it forward again to your plank. Modify, come to your knees if you need to. Step left this time, step right. Left steps to the side and in, right and in. Left goes back, right goes back, and push it to your inverted V. Moving forward, once again, we're going to do left foot again. Step it in, step right one in, step the left out, step it in, step the right out, step it in, left goes back, right goes back, and push it back. Release, come on back. We're going to finish up with one more to each side. So starting with the right, and left comes in, right steps to the side, and in, left, left, right goes back, left goes back, push it back. Coming forward again, we do the left side this time. Left goes in, right goes in, left goes to the side, right to the side, step left back, right back, push, and bring it down. Come on down to a shell stretch as you release. Breathe easy here. And when you're ready, you can unroll yourself. Take a few shoulder rolls here to loosen up in that neck area. You can take a big stretch to open up the chest a little bit more here. There's a lot of stabilizing work that goes on in those planks, even interlacing the fingers behind the back, lifting the hands away from your lower back, continuing to soften those facial features as you breathe in fully into the lungs, lifting the hands up and then release. Give the shoulders a little bit of a shrug, and let's take it forward, coming into a half plank position or a full. You're going to keep, actually, let's bring the fingers in so the tips of the thumbs touch and the tips of your index fingers touch. So you create a little bit of a triangle or a diamond with your hand, with your fingers. Bring those shoulders right over top of the wrists. We're going to bend to bring the elbows in toward the body and lift back up again. So bending and straightening. Now making sure that as you lower, try not to get your shoulders all scrunched up. Keep your neck as long as you're able to, and relax in the neck. Keep the effort and the load in those arms. Let's do another 3. 2 more. And 1 more. And bring it back once again. Separate the hands, reach them forward, come on forward, and lower down to your mat. Let's stack the legs or the hands, stacking them at the top of the mat. So if you can't come down into prone in this way, just do this work one leg at a time in table position. So you're still going to fire up the glutes and the hamstrings if needed. Now as you rest your forehead here, you're going to decompress your lower back by lengthening and tucking the tailbone. From here, you're going to bend the right leg, flex that right ankle as you lift your thigh off the floor. So lift and lower. Try to keep your left leg rather light here. So you're not twisting and tipping over to the left side. Instead, you're firing up that right glute and the hamstring to pick up the leg and to lift it. Now the next time you lift it up, hold your right leg lifted. Let's pulse it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that leg. So lots of fire in that hamstring. Let us switch sides again. Keep the right side light. Keep your weight centered. Bend your left leg, lift and lower. Lifting and lowering. For 4, 5, 6, 7. Try to relax your shoulders. 9, 10, and hold it. Let's pulse it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release and relax. You can bring the ear to the mat, you can bring the arms at your sides. So it's really important when you do that type of work that you maintain that decompression in your lower back, because when you lift the leg up, you want the glute to fire and the hamstring, and you don't want to feel it in your lower back. If you're feeling it in the lower back, you need to activate that powerhouse more and keep that tuck of the tailbone very, very much focused so that you can avoid having pressure and jarring in that lower back. So from here, we are going to bring the fingertips by the ears. So if you're not in a prone position like this, you could do this from a kneeling position, keeping that spine aligned. Press through the tops of your feet here, tip of your nose to the mat, decompress the neck, take a breath in, lift the head as you exhale, twist to the right, exhale, twist to the right, exhale, inhale it back to the center. Exhale right, exhale left, inhale center. Right, as you look toward that right elbow, look toward the left elbow, back to the center. And if you need to, you can always do a little bit of a pause in the middle where the nose comes back down to your mat. And this works those rear oblique muscles. So picking up that rib cage from side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. Out. Last one. And bring it back. Bring the arms at your sides. Bring the opposite ear to your mat this time. And take a little rest. As you make your way to bringing the hands back outside of the rib cage, take a moment to slide the shoulder blades down the back, press through the tops of your feet, and from here we're going to come into a swan prep as we lift the ribs up and lower it down. So in a table, this would be more like a cow exercise. So omitting the cat portion and just focusing on cow. Keeping the hands really light as you do this as well. Keeping the leg in the spine. This time as we come up, we're going to hold it lifted. See if you can bring those hands to hover above the floor. Bring them back down. Elbows tucked, press up and push it back to your shell stretch. So great way to bring that balance back into your spine as you curl in this way. Sliding the forehead toward the knees and easing your way into table. So from here, we'll walk the hands a little bit further, and as you tuck the toes under, come on into your inverted V once again. As you bring your right leg long, level your hips up and reach through your tippy toes on the right foot. Bring that right knee towards your left elbow. Breathe in, reach it back. Breathe out, squeeze. So gliding the body back and forward again while executing that squeeze of the knee toward the elbow. Feel the compression in those right obliques as you tuck in. Let's do one final one here. Let's see if we can hold it. hold it, bring it back to your inverted V. Now you're welcome to take a little break here if you need it, or you're going to lift the left leg, join in whenever you can, when you're ready. So always important to pace yourself, listen to your body. You could do the same move in table. So whether you're doing this in inverted V or in table, you're going to squeeze and bring it in. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, tuck. So keep that flowing. You adapt to whichever version of this movement is going to serve you the very best. So a few more breaths here. And reach it back, bring it in, bring the knees to the mat, bring your big toes together, part your knees, and push it back to a shelf stretch, making it a nice wide angle one this time. As you remain in that wide kneed position, let's add a little bit of a shoulder stretch here as we take the left arm through underneath the right one, adding a little twist here to stretch out those obliques and the hips, reaching through the left fingertips to bring the shoulder toward the floor or to the floor. And as you press into that right hand, let's switch it over, reaching through your right side, allowing your right shoulder to come to the floor, softening up shoulder, softening up jaw, and as you release it, bring the arms back in, hands walk back in, and roll out those shoulders. So let's come back to a seated position from here. As we extend the legs long, we are going to once again roll down, breathe in, roll, articulating through your spine, bending the knees to tabletop when you arrive. So from here, I'm going to give myself a little bit more room here as we remain in tabletop or legs long, arms at your sides. You're going to lift the legs, and from here, if they're in tabletop, they're bent already. You're going to really activate from your powerhouse, particularly the pelvic floor, to lift the tailbone up. So you want to use that strength rather than your arms. So keep the arms really light, lower the legs down again, or keep them in tabletop and lift up those hips. So we're coming into reverse curls. And just continuing to keep the center back of your head grounded, so your cervical spine is neutral here. So you don't want to put pressure on that cervical spine, on your neck. You're using your core instead. Trying to get a little bit more height, perhaps. Now you can keep going with these, or if you want some extra, you can lift the hips up and roll it right over, bringing the hips up high, and then articulating just like we did when we were seated to bring the spine to the mat, bring the legs toward the floor, lift it up again, and once again, reverse curl or roll it over, bringing the feet long and legs long overhead and rolling it back. So keep playing around with the version that's going to work best for you. It's really about the control of the movement. Just like when you are laying on the floor and you're rolling up, you don't want to be throwing your arms up to pull you up and create jerkiness to the movement. It's the same thing with this. You want to be able to squeeze and lift rather than to throw and lift. This time lower it all the way down to your mat and take a big, long stretch once again. Breathe in to really extend and lengthen. Feel good in that stretch. And as you interlace the fingers, bring your right knee into your chest. From here, bring that right knee towards your right shoulder. You can squeeze it in, maybe even a little bit more towards the knee. As you hold on to it, you get a great stretch to the hip, the inner thigh here, the back of the leg. You can circle out your ankle so you're getting double duty on that stretch, circling it in both directions. As we did those flexed ankles and pointed toes, it feels good to loosen that up. You can take hand to the kneecap to circle around the femur in the hip joint, doing that in both directions. And then bringing the knee back in. Take your left hand to your right knee and open up your right arm as you bring your knee across the body. Now as you keep your body open and proud, lengthening the head out of your spine, perhaps taking your gaze towards your right hand. You can keep your left hand on your right knee, maybe slide it up, slide the knee up a little bit closer toward your chest. If you're really adventurous, you can take your peace fingers, hook on to your right big toe as you extend out your right leg and continue, if you can, to either look up or look toward the right hand, keeping a nice long reach. Bend it and release it as you unwind, bringing your other knee into the chest. Give it a nice pull here again. You can wrap that, kind of bring the knee into the crook of your elbow as you squeeze it in toward the shoulder, relaxing through that hip so that you can relax through the shin and the ankle, massaging and circling it out. Do that in both directions. And whenever you're ready, you're sliding the hand to the kneecap, you're circling it around here, massaging out the hip joint in both directions. And then taking your right hand to your left leg, open it up, take the knee across. So once again, you are keeping the focus on opening your chest and lengthening those obliques. So by anchoring your left shoulder down in your arm, you really get a stretch in the obliques as well as in the intercostal muscles. So that really helps to keep those muscles pliable, which is going to help with your breathing because those intercostal muscles really help the ribs to contract and to expand so the lungs can function more efficiently. You could slide the left knee up a little closer to your chest, or again, option to hook your peace fingers around that big toe to hold on, extend the leg, and get a bigger, deeper stretch. And it feels good. So again, we hold for a little bit, so it gives you the opportunity to kind of explore what's going to feel the best for you. As you bend and release, let it go, unwinding, bring your feet back in again, bring both knees in, lift the nose towards your knees and see if you can reach for your big toes or the outside edges, inside edges of the feet, and come on into a happy baby. From here, you can pull on one side, pull on the other side as you massage your back. See if you can bring your tailbone to the floor so that you get a bigger area massaged out here. So we worked on those inner thighs. So this is a really good way to stretch them out, really get deep into the hips. Even the arms get a good stretch here. And as you bring your right foot down, you can wrap your left leg around and see if you can pick up both knees, maybe even tuck your left foot behind your right ankle for eagle legs as you pull them in towards you. So that's going to stretch the outsides of those hips. The gluteus medius gets a bit of a stretch here. and certainly getting into that IT band a little bit, which is difficult to stretch. It's a tough fibrous band of tissue, but getting a little separation in that joint helps to open that up more. From here, we'll unwind the legs and switch sides. So cross the opposite one. Eagle legs here as well. See if you can squeeze in, bring in the knees a little bit closer and closer. Even if you're not wrapping the legs around completely, just crossing them is going to help you to get deeper into that outer hip stretch. And then unwind and release. As you bring a bend or keep a bend in the knees, feet flat on the floor, bring your hands by your hips, walk your shoulder blades toward each other. See if you can get a little bit longer through the neck, making sure it's the center back of your head that's pressing down. Lift up into a bridge. From here, let's interlace the fingers and press into those baby fingers so that you can actually get some leverage so you can lift up the hips. Now, if you had a block at home, you could also slide that underneath your sacrum. You can even use your hands to push up and see if you can get a little bit more lift here. Maybe even kind of cradling the edges of the sacrum. With the hands, you wrap the fingers around the edges, then you get lifted nice and high to open up those hip flexors. And then release it. Articulate slowly all the way back down to your mat. As you stretch the arms long, stretch the legs long, open up your arms like the letter T. Bring your left arm up, wrap the right one around it. Eagle arms. See if you can bring the palms together. Rest your thumbs over your forehead. Squeeze those elbows and lift them up high. Lift, lift, lift. Keep squeezing. See if you can release. Bring the hands to opposite shoulders. Keep those elbows squeezing together as you keep bringing the elbows up, up, up. And then release and open up. Bring the right arm up. Wrap the left one around. Squeeze those elbows together. Thumbs over the forehead. Lift the elbows. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze those elbows together. Hold it there. Keep breathing. And then hands to opposite elbows as you keep lifting the elbows up. And then release and let it go. Bring the arms at your sides, palms up. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Hold and squeeze here. As you hold and you squeeze, make fists with your hands. Curl your toes in as well. Tighten up your legs, tighten up your arms. Crunch, scrunch up all of your facial features. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Relax, soften. Soften up the whole body. And from here, take a breath in and lengthen out. You can bend both knees, roll onto your side, cradling the head. Come into the fetal position. Press the floor away to make your way up to seated. Take a moment, anchor through the sit bones, open up through the chest. Take a big, beautiful stretch. Inhale. Feel good in that stretch. Bring the hands to your heart center and namaste.